information because he's been there. Brian, the stage is yours.
Hello, my name is Brian Megens. I'm a second year European Studies student, 24 years old, and I'm a former professional athlete. Now I'm a student, and I work as a social media reporter for the Maastricht University. So whoever follows Maastricht University Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, it's my post, all my pictures. You should follow it, by the way. Well, this was me, 2005. I was 15 years old. My weight was around 91 kilos. I was playing darts since I was 12, I guess. And in 2005, I was actually number 17 in the world. My teammate was Michael van Gerwen. He's now number 1 in the world in seniors, making around 500,000 euros or more every year. And he's way over 100 kilos now, I think. But well, why did I stop? Well, I was pretty good, national, even international, but I just won a really big tournament, Open Dortmund in 2005, and then I could go to the World Championships, but I put a lot of pressure on myself. I was an unknown player before, won a big tournament, and I was always like, what do they think of me? And I always put so much pressure that I couldn't even perform anymore. And I wasn't happy with my physical state, so I was like, I'm just gonna stop this. The sponsor stopped because Michael got better and better, and yeah, he's now number 1, so I guess he was right. And I just wanted to transform myself physically, but I did take a lot from dogs. Like, just the result doesn't matter anymore. Like, if you performed in the past, that doesn't mean you're going to perform today. Like, if you have a competition or whatever and you're pretty intimidated by the others, they have to start from the same line as you do. So then I got myself in shape, and you could see it as a mental and physical transformation. I went from 91 kilos to 72 kilos with kickboxing, running, especially healthy nutrition as well. I did 2 matches in the ring. You can see me on the right bottom, I'm the guy in the black shorts. And basically what I taught was discipline. So from school I went from average level to the highest level, just because through kickboxing I got discipline. Like, you should do something for it, you should really work for it. You should not only want something, but you should really want something. You should be able to live for it and sacrifice something for it. Also, it taught me that you're the one in charge of your life, and you can be every form you want yourself to be. I could be still the fat Brian, or I could be the Brian that's physically and mentally in good shape. So it's up to you to make that decision. After 2 years of kickboxing, when I was 18, I remember sitting in front of the computer, browsing on the internet, and I was actually thinking about buying a race bike. I always loved cycling, and since I was a kid, like 4 years of age, I just followed Tour de France, and I was like, it's now or never. I was 18, if I ever want to achieve something in cycling, I should really start buying a bike first and start training. So I bought my first bike when I was 18, and it was like a really cheap second-hand bike. I think it was 200 euros. Spent another 200 euros on just getting it really in a good shape. And the goal I had was not to become professional or whatever, but you just get the best out of myself. And that's how I started every race. That's how I woke up every day. Just get the best out of yourself. Train, live for it. I just remember, I just lived like a monk. I just went to bed at 10. I just stood up woke up at around 7:30. Was on my bike at around 8:30. Trained for like 30 hours a week. After 2 years, I got my first contract. Semi-professional contract at Jo Piel's continental cycling team. It went very well. I won national races. I just performed really well in international races. And then Rabobank came, and I don't know if anyone of you know Rabobank. It's like one of the biggest banks in the Netherlands. You've probably seen it a lot. And they were a really big sponsor in cycling until 2012. And they had like a development team. It's an under 23 team, and they wanted to sign me. So I went there in the year 2012. And basically I knew it was a year of everything or nothing, because I was already 22, and if you're over 23 and you don't have a full professional contract yet, then it's really hard to get a full professional contract, because the teams will just say, we have a kid that's 21, so we will sign him. Well, the season unfortunately didn't go as I hoped it would. I got injured, and moreover, the team stopped because of Lance Armstrong, doping, bad publicity. Rabobank was like, okay, we spend it 20 million euros a year for 17 years, we're now going to stop it. So I had like a decision to make. Am I going to continue? I could probably sign a semi-professional contract with a small team, but then I was already 23 and getting a full professional contract was really hard. So I could just go stay in the comfort zone I was in for 4 years, or I could be like, there are other things to explore. So I just made the decision myself, for myself, to just stop cycling. I just found out that I had reached my physical limits and explored my intellectual limits. Well, what I do take from cycling, well, it taught me a lot of things, like what is life as a professional athlete, how to deal with media, how to present yourself on the bike, on social media, in business negotiations, etc., etc. So it really formed me. And some people ask me, do you see your cycling career as a failure? Because half of the team I was in 2012 did get full professional, so they have contracts of around, say, 80,000 euros a year at least. And I'm standing here as a student, putting myself in debt, like many of you probably. And I think it's not a failure because I learned a lot of lessons from it, but I woke up every day, I just gave everything. So I can't see something as a failure if you just gave everything for it. That's at least my... and also, well, don't be afraid of change because it may open new doors. And so what do I do now? Social media for the university. I just found a new passion, photography. And what's my goal for my new passion? Well, just get the best out of myself. I think that's the best thing you can do. These are two of my pictures, which I like them, but well, a lot of people also say that, yeah, but you just, achieved the things you did because you're extremely talented. Well, I'm not extremely talented. I just have a goal and I have a certain state of mind, and that's, I think, my main message I want to share with you guys is that stop making excuses, just believe in what you do and just start working. You need to have 100% commitment, or just don't bother even starting, and just don't start it, because if you don't give everything, then you will not reach your full potential. Be always honest towards yourself. Like, I could basically fool myself saying, yeah, I might get professional a year later, I might get professional in 2 years, but I just knew that the chances of getting professional at the age of 23 or higher are like not even 2% or whatever. So I was like, no, I'm just going to university and explore something different and open new doors. So be ambitious but also realistic. Like, I started cycling with the goal, get the best out of myself, and I will see where it gets me. Not just I want to be professional, because if you put that high standards, you're going to feel it like failure immediately, because chances of getting it are really, really slim. Don't let others discourage you. I remember that when I made the decision to stop kickboxing and go into cycling, that I was working in a fashion store as well, and some colleagues were like, where are you going to start cycling? You're 18. Do you really think you get professional? I was like, that's not even my goal, but why are you stopping me? Are you just jealous because I do live my dream and you don't? So find your motivation. Of course, the main thing, you need to have intrinsic motivation, but there are going to be days that you're going to be like, I don't want to do this. I had those days as a cyclist as well, that I had to wake up, it was winter, we needed to train. I wasn't in Spain. I was in Spain a lot, but I was here and it was, freezing, and I needed to go. I just saw my training schedule and it said 5 hours. And I just looked outside and it was -3. So I was like, okay, I still needed to do it, and I just thought about my parents, for example. They just sacrificed so much for me. They just brought me everywhere at the start of my career, and I was like, I can't make it towards them to just be lazy for a day. So they can create opportunities. I think that's a very important one. It's also maybe related to the networking as well. I mean, that can create a lot of opportunities, but by taking opportunities, you also create new opportunities. For example, I took the opportunity to become a social media reporter for the university, and now I explored myself in photography. So one step leads to other steps. Focus on things you can affect. Like when I was a dart player, and when I was really young, that's the biggest mistake in my dart career. I just won as an unknown player a big tournament, and I just put so much pressure on myself. What do they think of me? Well, I couldn't affect that, so I shouldn't even put energy in it. And yeah, do not just want it, but really live for it. Like, just sacrifice things. I mean, you have a higher goal, then you need to be willing to just do a lot and work a lot for it. And it's no failure when you've given all. And I think if you live by this state of mind, well, you're gonna overcome yourself, you're gonna create a victory over yourself. That's the biggest victory you can get, and just you're gonna become a winner.